Hello, welcome to the Determinism Philosophy. Today we're going to be talking about influence. So what is influence? Influence can be defined as an outside factor that affects your decision making. So okay, take for example, you are surrounded by video games, you're a big gamer. So instead of doing your homework, you play video games. So, that's an example of influence, right? A simple one, but it's a great example. So how can we take this into a deterministic type of ideology, deterministic way of trying to um, relate it to our daily lives, right? So take for example, you are in a very toxic environment and you have this type of personality where you can observe, right? Toxic environment, you observe other individuals in that said environment, and you get to see that different people in this specific environment, for example, toxic environment, right? They tend to have same outputs. So what that means is, well, whatever you are, we may be unique in different ways, but you surround yourself with specific things that influences you. Toxic environments, you become one of those said um, environmental. I mean, just the influential stuff as a whole, right? You become one of those individuals. So if you surround yourself with people that are constantly going out, doing these things that are really not nice, become one of those. Okay? What you surround yourself is what you become, mister. That's how it is. No matter who you are, that's gonna happen because in order to assimilate, you need to change your behaviors. You need to adapt. Okay? You need to grab those specific traits that you see so you can try to assimilate with those people. That's just how it goes, because if you act differently, they're not going to accept you, so you need to be the same. That's how it typically works in groups, right? You realize it all the time. Like for example, me, I realize it all the time, like in different groups. Sometimes the friend group would be a little bit immature. So I'll be like, okay, I have no choice. You would go there, and you found yourself, oh, what the? Am I becoming mature? Well, why am I doing this childish acts, right? And then you do that for 2 years because your classmates, you become like them. You don't realize it. It's the same thing. If you're with, drug addicts, you just don't realize it, but you become like them. That's how it works, okay? It's all about environment, so it's very important to control said environment of these younger people, man. And that's why there's a lot of bad things that's been happening right now because the lack of environmental control. I'm not even talking about the phone, okay? It's part of it, but the main thing is the whole environment, like schools, for example. Like that's where your young um, kids spend their time, most of their time, growing up, right? So you need to be concerned. I can't really. This is making me mad, right? Like, for example, in places that aren't really developed or maybe developed places, like why can't we improve schools? Like make them safer, make them like a lot safer. Okay, there's a lot of bad influences there, and you're putting your younger individuals, like vulnerable individuals, in that specific area. They're gonna get influenced. That's how they learn. Okay, that's how they learn these bad things. We have internet as well. Like a lot of individuals learn of bad things, like 4chan ideologies. Like back in the day, like if you scroll through mainstream shit, mainstream media, you're not gonna see those. But now you see on TikTok, you're in a bad day, you search something up, and yeah, fucking 4chan ideology just pops off 50 videos. But yeah, just control the environment because that's the most important part. It's gonna determine your